In a faraway kingdom, during an age when wisdom was held in the highest regard, there lived a revered priest, Pandit Vishwanath. He wasn't just any priest. People from distant lands traveled to seek his counsel. His understanding of scriptures, philosophy, and human nature was so deep that even kings would bow before his intellect. People in his village often said, if wisdom had a form, it would look like Pandit Ji. His words carried the weight of truth, and his presence brought peace wherever he went. One bright morning, as sunlight bathed the palace courtyard in gold, Pandit Vishwanath was summoned to the royal court. As always, he was welcomed with honor. The king, sitting on his ornate throne, smiled and engaged him in discussions about dharma, karma, and the purpose of life. Hours passed by, and the court listened in awe as Pandit Ji spoke with clarity and humility. As the conversation came to a close and the Pandit prepared to leave, the king, perhaps out of mischief, or perhaps with a deeper intent, smirked and said, "O wise one, before you leave, I have a question that has puzzled me." Pandit Ji turned, intrigued. "Yes, Maharaj," the king continued. "You are known far and wide for your brilliance. People sing praises of your scholarship. But if you are so wise, why is your son such a fool?" The question struck like a bolt of lightning. The entire court burst into laughter. Ministers and courtiers chuckled as they looked at the stunned face of Pandit Ji. The air was thick with mockery. The Pandit's heart sank. He was not a man who was easily rattled, but this was an insult he had not expected. Composing himself, he asked firmly, "Your Majesty, on what basis do you call my son a fool?" The king leaned back and replied with a grin, "Because he doesn't even know the value of gold over silver. Almost every day, when he walks past my court, I offer him a choice, a gold coin in one hand and a silver coin in the other. And every time, without fail, he chooses the silver coin." The court erupted with laughter again. If he doesn't even understand that gold is more valuable, what wisdom can he possibly have? The king concluded. Pandit Vishwanath said nothing. His silence was louder than the laughter around him. He offered a respectful bow and walked out of the court with a heart full of confusion and pain. When he reached home, his son, Arjun, greeted him at the door with a warm smile and a glass of water. "Father, you look tired. Please, have some water." But the Pandit's mind was boiling with questions. He looked his son in the eye and said sternly, "Keep the water aside, Arjun. I need an answer. Tell me, which is more valuable, gold or silver?" Arjun blinked in surprise at the sudden interrogation. "Gold is more valuable, of course," he said without hesitation. The Pandit's brows furrowed. "Then why, Arjun? Why have you been embarrassing our family? Why do you choose silver in the king's court? He called you a fool today, mocked you in front of everyone." Arjun looked at his father for a moment. Then he smiled. "Please come with me, father." He led him inside the house and walked toward a large wooden chest tucked beneath the prayer shelf. When he opened it, the Pandit's eyes widened in disbelief. Inside the chest, gleaming under the dim light of the room, were dozens and dozens of silver coins, neatly stacked, enough to fill the box halfway. Where did these come from?" the Pandit asked, stunned. Arjun chuckled. "From the king, father. Every time I go to school, I pass the royal court. The king stops me and offers a choice, a gold coin in one hand and a silver coin in the other. And every time, I choose the silver." He paused and continued with a calm, confident voice. "You see, the moment I pick the gold coin, the game will end. The joke will stop. The laughter will fade. But as long as I pick silver, they laugh, and they play the game again the next time. And every time, another silver coin comes home with me." The Pandit stood still. His heart, which had been burning with shame, slowly began to feel something else, pride. "But son, don't you feel insulted when they laugh at you? Doesn't it hurt?" Arjun smiled gently and said, "Father, I've learned something you taught me when I was a child. Let the world laugh if it must. We lose nothing when others misunderstand us. But we lose everything when we act out of pride." The world sees me as a fool, but I've been collecting silver steadily, while their laughter blinds them to my intent. Let them laugh. I am patient. That day, Pandit Vishwanath saw not just a son, but a master of wisdom standing before him. The next morning, Pandit Ji returned to the royal court, not with anger, but with a newfound peace. Beside him stood Arjun. The court grew quiet. The king raised an eyebrow. Pandit Ji stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, I believe my son has something to say." Arjun stepped forward with confidence. "O king, I thank you for your generosity. But let me tell you a truth you did not expect. I know the value of gold, but I also know the value of timing. The day I take the gold coin, the game ends. So I take silver. And let the game continue. Today, I have a chest full of silver. Tomorrow, maybe I'll earn a chest full of gold, but I do not trade wisdom for applause. I wait. I choose patience." A silence fell over the court. The same people who laughed yesterday were now wide-eyed with admiration. The king rose from his throne, approached Arjun, and placed a hand on his shoulder. "You are no fool, my boy. You are wiser than most men I know. Today, the kingdom has witnessed what true wisdom looks like," he declared. Moral of the story. Sometimes in life, being misunderstood is not a curse. It's a sign you're playing a deeper game. Wisdom doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it smiles in silence and lets the world laugh while quietly winning. When life tests your patience, remember, gold may shine, but silver gathered over time can build an empire. Don't rush to prove your worth. Let your actions, and your quiet strategy, speak louder than words. Because true intelligence isn't in knowing what's valuable. It's in knowing when to choose it.